Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the new movie in theaters called Weapons, which is a horror thriller type film that just came out last weekend that I went to go see with my wife, and I actually really enjoyed it. So this film is written and directed by Zach Cregger, who's the same person that brought us the great movie in 2022 by the name of Barbarian.
But with a little practice, it can soon become a pleasurable experience. This is perfectly natural.
And that movie within itself came out of left field and was basically a diamond hidden in coal. And it was basically just a gem. It was about a double booked Airbnb that went totally off the rails and put Cregger on the map as a bold new voice in horror. So Weapons is the follow-up to Barbarian and his second big movie blockbuster. And I'm happy to report that it's really enjoyable and delivers. Critics are already considering this movie a triumph that's solidifying Cregger as a new master in horror. So what is Weapons all about? In this video, I'm going to give you guys a quick synopsis of the story and my own little opinions about it, spoiler free of course, and hopefully it kind of swayed you guys to go check it out yourselves. So this movie takes place in a quiet suburban town where on an ordinary night, everything turns on its head, and 17 children from the same class vanish into thin air without a trace. At exactly 2:17 a.m., all but one child in a third grade class get out of bed, walk out of their homes, and disappear into the darkness. This comes with no warning and leaving no trace of where the children went. This understandably throws the community into a chaos. Panicked parents demanding answers, and the police are baffled at where they all went. Everyone looking for someone to blame, and the blame quickly goes and falls on their teacher, Justine Gandy, who is played by Julia Garner. And she has the misfortune of being the last person responsible for those children at school. Rumors and paranoia run wild and rampant, and some even brand her as a witch, convinced she must know what happened. Only one student, a quiet boy named Alex, didn't run off into the night for some reason, which makes Justine desperately hope he might hold the key to this mystery. As the search for the kids ensues and unfolds, Weapons weaves a multi-perspective narrative, and the story is split into separate chapters, each focusing on an individual character's point of view in the scenario. We meet Archer Graff, who's played by the very talented Josh Brolin, a grief-stricken father whose young son is among the missing. Now Archer's marriage and sanity are on the brink of collapse as he becomes obsessed with finding answers, even if it means suspecting Justine of heinous things. And then there's Paul, played by Alden Ehrenreich, a local police officer grappling with his own guilt and vices, who's secretly having a little side piece affair with Justine. We also follow a character named James, who's played by Austin Abrams, who, in my opinion, is a standout character in this movie. A struggling addict. And Principal Marcus, who's played by Benedict Wong, who's just trying to keep the community from imploding on itself. Now, with each one of these characters' chapters, it reveals new clues and insight into what exactly happened that fateful night the children all up and went missing. But right there is where I'm going to leave you guys with the synopsis, and we're going to kind of just get into where I think the movie, shines. Weapons manages to balance horror with dark humor. It's creepy and intense, but also surprisingly funny in places, leaving my entire theater cracking up at some points. The horror feels natural, like real human reactions to crazy situations. The director Zach Cregger's comedy background shines through with this. And Julia Garner even said, horror and comedy are opposite sides of the same coin. Themes include paranoia, scapegoating, and how communities react to fear as a whole. The mass disappearance mirrors real-life mob mentalities. The film suggests how quickly people look for simple answers or someone to punish and blame in time of great stress. Now, when it comes to the cast, we have a lot of heady hitters. The ensemble is stacked. Julia Garner shines as Justine, emotional, determined, and vulnerable. And we've seen her do this stuff like this before with her breakout role in Ozark, which I think she was terrific in and my first real experience with her acting. Now we also have Thanos himself, Josh Brolin, who is fantastic as Archer. Raw grief mixed with dark humor. You can really feel his angst and stress with the loss of his child. Alden Ehrenreich brings depth to Paul, the flawed cop with secrets, and Austin Abrams adds tension as James. And lastly, Benedict Wong brings gravity as Principal Marcus, really standing out and feeling like an anchor in the role. And the director does a terrific job giving each actor their own moment to shine through each separate chapter and perspective. The way it's structured really lets everybody flesh out their own characters and you get a feeling for who these people are. We jump in time to see events from new angles and piece the puzzle together as a whole from each perspective and each new insight we get. The editing by Joe Murphy keeps the flow smooth and doesn't feel too jarring. The cinematography is done by Larkin Sepul? I'm horrible with names. Sorry about that, guys. But the cinematography is immersive, using inventive camera angles, eerie nighttime sequences. Really kind of brings the horror and the feeling of edge and angst out of the film. Cregger avoids overusing CGI or cheap jump scares, instead building tension through the atmosphere and the sound, which is done phenomenally. The opening is chilling. Kids in pajamas slightly walking into the night is an unforgettable sight. It leads into a tense town meeting, showcasing Garner's performance and how on edge the entire community is. This, going into a late night investigation by Paul, delivers a nail-biting scare. This followed by some much-needed comedy provided by the character James, played by Austin Abrams. The final act is bold, chaotic, and unforgettable, even a little gory if you like that stuff, leaving some mystery for the audience to discuss, some laughs, and, some stuff to think about and actually discuss on the ride home. Weapons really is just a fresh, fearless, and original take on horror and comedy as a whole. It's extremely compelling with mystery, horror, dark comedy, and gore all rolled into one, with extremely great performances, bold direction, and a unique structure build. It is really one of the most exciting films that I've been able to see this year, and left me happy leaving the theater with a smile on my face, laughing and wanting to see it again. I highly do recommend you guys catch this movie because like I said, I loved it. I'd give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I also really loved Barbarian, but I do really like the idea of taking horror and gore and putting a nice spin of dark humor on it so that we can get a nice laugh, but also get to see some crazy stuff go down. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys gonna go check this one out in the theaters? Have you seen it already? If so, what was your opinion on it? Would you recommend it to somebody else? Or are you guys gonna pass and let it come to Fandango at home and buy it at home and watch it on your couch? Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video out there, ring the bell for notification, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.